Hey everyone, welcome back to Pick of the Week. This time I'm featuring the self-titled third album by American Football on Polyvinyl Record Company from 2019. I was very excited to see that American Football put out a new album this year, and just a great record overall. If you've never heard of American Football, they've been described as like emo, math rock, but I like to think of them as sort of very introspective, cheery melancholy. That's what they are to me. They can hit you, they'll blindside you with these infectious rolling rhythms that they really just pull you into the music and gives you this lush, fertile, relaxing playground to listen to. But then you start listening to lyrics and there's a lot of heartache. And it gets not heady in a sense, but just very introspective. And that's how I live my life a lot. I think about things all the time. I'm much more of an introvert in my personal time, and I like to sort of think about things. And so like this music really just feeds my soul, man. So anyway, let's break this album down track by track, starting with track 1, Silhouettes. Now this one opens with this really lovely chime sound about it, and to me it has this feeling of an adventure is about to begin, so let's prepare kind of a thing. But then that very signature rolling rhythm beat that I associate with American Football comes in and it just absorbs. It's just kind of a warm, fuzzy blanket wraps around my ears. I love that sound. It is probably, I wouldn't say the most positive, but maybe the most uplifting, lyrically speaking songs on this record. However, to me, it's speaking about a love that perhaps is maybe purely physical, and he yearns for it to be more emotionally connected in a way. Could be off on that, but see what you guys think.
What's the inconsequential love?
Track 2 is Every Wave to Ever Rise, and this is a great follow-up to the last track. Really carries forward that American Football rhythm, that rolling, lovely sound that I love. Here we have lyrics expressing yearning. Yearning for love, loving someone who's not there. Not quite unrequited love. I don't think that's the case here, but I think it's more, maybe there's a distance between the two. And the vocals by Elizabeth Powell really express that. She is part of the band Land of Talk, and here she sings some lyrics in French. And to my English ears, it sounds beautiful, right? Of course, lovely female vocalist, drenched in echo and reverb, singing French, right? But when you translate it, she's actually singing about how love makes her sick. It's a kind of a reoccurring theme throughout this record. It kind of makes me wonder what went on in the background for Mike. I assume he wrote most of these lyrics. I could be wrong on that, but it does kind of carry that theme of real honest love, but it's not storybook love. There are problems, there are issues, and they have no qualms about expressing that. Track 3 is Uncomfortably Numb, and there is a bit of a wordplay on here. He is clearly, in my mind, referencing the Pink Floyd song, whereas I feel in general, The Wall, as I just covered it in a bunch of videos, but The Wall is primarily about sort of the pains of being a rock star and closing yourself off from being hurt emotionally. This song is about kind of getting older and maybe realizing that where you are in life isn't where you thought you would end up, and perhaps losing that sense of hope that you have when you're younger. You know, life can really drag you down to the point where you just go through the motions, and you know, realizing that, being uncomfortable in that, but not really doing much to change that. Paramore's Hayley Williams sings on here, which is a great touch. Love her vocal contribution. Additionally, the guitars on here, there's some lovely sort of sweeping, drenched in echo, kind of noodly guitar work. It's got this like lovely spatial feel about it. Really makes this song feel bigger than it is, atmospheric in a way. Honestly, throughout this record, there are moments of that. But for some reason on this track, they really stand out here. The lessons are so much less obvious. Rounding out side A, we have Heir Apparent, and this to me is probably the saddest song on the record. And I don't mean that musically, but I mean lyrically. He's singing about how being selfish and miscommunication can just ruin a relationship. And I think if you've ever been in one yourself, you can relate to this song. Maybe not to the extent, the dire extent of how the lyrics come across in this song, but maybe just in the sense of, by going through a relationship, by being in a relationship, we really learn a lot about ourselves, and it's not always about us, it's about the other person, and we have to give back, we have to listen, and if you fail to do those things, it's gonna ruin it, and you're gonna keep repeating that until you learn those lessons. Towards the end of the song, there's a lovely children's choir that comes in. It starts off rather quiet in the mix, but as the song heads towards the finale, it gradually raises in volume, and it just creates this lovely, lovely touch. Again, reminding me of Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. There is some great piano and flute on here as well that just add that extra little touch to make this song stand out from all the other tracks on this release. Opening up side B, we have Doom in full bloom, and despite its title, it has quite an uplifting forward movement, which I think is perfect track placement on this record, because you really need something to perk your ears up after that last song on side A. And this one does have rather gloomy lyrics, but I feel like the instrumentation really helps to counterbalance that, especially the guitar work about halfway through. There's this great arpeggio. It's being plucked in a way that kind of reminds me of guitar work from the 80s. Maybe that's my own bias. I love 80s music, as you probably all know, but this one just sounds great. I feel like overall, guitars generally with American football sort of take a back seat, but for some reason on this song, they really stand out. Track 2 is I Can't Feel You, and for some reason, I know the bass is on all of these songs, but this track in particular, it really stands out, and I love the tone of it. I can diffuse most anything. Rachel Goswell of Slow Dive sings on here, and she has such a lovely, haunting presence. It's almost like she hangs over Mike Kinsella's vocals. Great counterpoint. And lyrically, it isn't so much a sad song as much as it's about how miscommunication can really drag down a relationship. Like you really need to listen, and to really listen, not just say you're listening. And this song expresses when that doesn't work, when you don't do that, and how frustrating that can be. And just that vocal trade-off between Rachel and Mike really works well. Track 3 is Mine to Miss, and this is just a solid American football song. I expect no less from this band. And the standout lyric for me is "My head is an unmade bed." Just something about that, the way he sings it, it just really resonates with me. Closing the record is Life Support, and I couldn't think of a better song. The opening string moment is exquisite. And then the song kicks in, and it just has this grand, sweeping, epic feel. It really is a great counterpoint to the beginning of the record. Had that kind of epic start of an adventure feel. This very much feels like the closing credits. I can't breathe on my own. And the way it ends, it is so brutal. I'm telling you, like how it starts, it doesn't resolve. It just sort of leaves you hanging, which is not what I expected from such kind of a pretty sounding record. But that is life. Life doesn't always have a happy ending, and I think that's kind of the overall idea of this song and this record in particular. It's like, it's not storybook romance, it's real life romance, and all the problems, the frustrations, the miscommunications that go with it. This song really embodies that and gives it a wonderful closing moment. It's not closing, but it is, and I just love that. All right, let's talk about the packaging. On the cover, we have this gorgeous early sunrise picture. We've got the low-hanging fog and just a hint of vegetation right there. You got a hype sticker listing out the various guest vocalists, and you have a digital download. On the back there, you get the track listings and whatnot, continuation of that front cover photo. What's great is that this also came with an insert. You have a lyric booklet with more of these lovely photographs. And on the back there, very similar to the back of the record. Now, the record came in this plain white paper sleeve, and it's on this lovely blue vinyl. Look at that. Very striking red labels. Here's side A, and there is side B. I love melancholy, and that's what this record is. It's lush, beautiful, longing. It speaks to regret, nostalgia, wishing you had done things differently, missed opportunities, missed connections. But there's also a sense of appreciation for the here and now, of being alive. And with that, I can't recommend this record enough. It really is worth owning on vinyl. Well, everybody, that will do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this album, what you think of American football in general. Until then, I'm your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.